Have you ever noticed something strange? You haven't grabbed your keys. You haven't opened the front door. You haven't even put shoes on yet. But somehow, your dog already knows you're about to leave. They begin following you around. Maybe they stare from across the room. Maybe they become restless, clingy, or unusually alert. Most people assume dogs react to the moment we walk out the door. But that's often not where the stress starts. For many dogs, the emotional buildup begins minutes earlier, long before the goodbye. And if you understand what your dog is noticing before you leave, you can completely change how they experience being home alone. Dogs are experts at reading patterns. They don't rely on words the way humans do. They study movement, rhythm, tone, tiny changes in behavior. Your morning routine becomes a series of signals. Laptop bag picked up, shoes tied, keys moved, walking pace changes, attention shifts. To us, these moments feel meaningless. To a dog, they can become predictions. And when a dog repeatedly connects those patterns with being left alone, their body may start preparing for separation before it even happens. That preparation can look different depending on the dog. Some bark, some pace, some chew furniture. Others simply stand near doors or windows waiting. Not because they're stubborn, not because they're trying to punish you. Often it's because their body has moved into a heightened state of alertness. Think about people for a second. Imagine waiting for stressful news. You check your phone repeatedly. Your shoulders tighten. Your thoughts speed up. Nothing bad has happened yet, but your body is preparing. Dogs can experience something similar. When routines consistently predict separation, anticipation itself can create tension. Now here's where many caring owners accidentally make things harder. Right before leaving, people often become rushed. You're thinking about work, traffic, meetings, things you forgot, whether the lights are off, whether your dog has water, whether you'll be late. Your body changes when you're busy. Movements become faster, energy becomes sharper, focus shifts away, and dogs notice. Some owners respond to guilt by doing the opposite. They turn departure into a big emotional event. Extra hugs, high energy affection, repeated reassurance, long goodbyes, we'll be back soon, be good, I'll miss you. The intention comes from love. But sometimes the message a dog receives sounds more like something important is happening. Pay attention. This moment matters. That emotional intensity can make leaving feel bigger than it needs to feel. Dogs often benefit from something surprisingly simple. Predictability, consistency, calmness. When departures feel ordinary instead of emotionally charged, many dogs settle more easily. That doesn't mean ignoring your dog. It doesn't mean becoming distant. It means helping your dog learn an important lesson. People leaving isn't an emergency. People leaving is part of normal life. And that lesson develops through repetition. Small moments repeated consistently become powerful. The good news? You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need complicated training routines. And you don't need an hour of preparation every morning. Small adjustments in the final moments before leaving can influence how your dog experiences your absence. Over time, those small changes can help build confidence. Confidence becomes security. Security becomes calm. And calm changes everything. In the next section, we'll cover the first practical shift many owners overlook: how your own energy affects your dog's emotional state more than most people realize. Because your dog isn't only watching what you do, they are paying attention to how you feel. And once you understand that piece, your entire departure routine may change forever. What if your dog isn't only watching your actions before you leave? What if they are reading something even deeper? Most people focus on visible habits: picking up keys, putting on shoes, closing the laptop, walking toward the door. Those things matter. But dogs often notice something long before those signals appear. They notice your emotional state. You might think you're hiding stress. You're not. Dogs are incredibly skilled observers. They study body language constantly because that's how they understand the world. Tiny details humans barely notice can become meaningful information to them. The speed of your movements, the tension in your shoulders, the rhythm of your footsteps, your breathing, the way your voice sounds, even changes in attention. You may think you're acting normal. Your dog may experience something completely different. Picture two situations. Scenario 1. You're rushing, looking at your phone, checking the time, walking quickly between rooms, thinking about meetings, traffic, deadlines, responsibilities. You aren't upset with your dog. You aren't doing anything wrong. You're simply busy, but your body communicates urgency. Now scenario 2. You move steadily. You breathe normally. Your pace stays relaxed. Nothing feels dramatic. Nothing feels rushed. From your dog's perspective, those two versions of you feel very different. Animals are highly tuned to emotional patterns inside their social group. For dogs, humans become part of that social world, which means your emotional state can influence theirs. Think about how people affect each other. Walk into a room where someone is visibly anxious. Even before they speak, you feel it. The atmosphere changes. Energy spreads. Dogs often respond similarly. When humans feel tense, dogs may become more alert. When humans appear calm and steady, dogs often settle more easily. This doesn't mean you need to become perfectly peaceful every day. Life doesn't work like that. Busy mornings happen. Stress happens. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is awareness. Because awareness creates opportunities to change small habits, and small habits create bigger results. One simple adjustment starts before you even prepare to leave. Slow down slightly. Not dramatically. Not in a forced way. Just enough to remove unnecessary urgency. Walk normally. Breathe normally. Move through your routine without broadcasting pressure. Your dog notices more than you realize. Another helpful shift involves connection. Some owners avoid interaction completely before leaving. They worry attention will make separation harder. Others go too far in the opposite direction. Big excitement. Extra affection. Long emotional moments. Neither extreme helps every dog. Many dogs respond best to something in the middle. Quiet connection. A brief, calm moment together. No excitement, no sadness, no dramatic goodbye, just normal presence. You might sit nearby for a few seconds, offer gentle attention, speak normally, create a feeling that says everything is okay, nothing unusual is happening. The goal isn't distraction, it's stability. Because stability teaches confidence. Confidence matters. A confident dog doesn't need constant reassurance. They learn through repetition. They gather evidence. Every calm departure becomes proof. Proof that people leave. proof that people return, proof that being alone isn't automatically something scary. But here's something owners often miss. Dogs don't only remember outcomes, they remember patterns. If every departure feels emotionally intense, your dog may begin expecting intensity. If departures consistently feel ordinary, your dog may begin treating them as ordinary. That difference matters more than people realize. Consistency creates predictability. Predictability creates comfort. Comfort supports emotional balance. Now imagine this. Tomorrow morning, instead of rushing through your routine, you move calmly. Instead of creating a dramatic goodbye moment, you stay steady. Instead of accidentally signaling urgency, you communicate normalcy. Your dog watches, learns, adapts, not instantly, not overnight, but gradually. The same way trust always develops, one repeated experience at a time. And there's another piece people rarely think about. Your dog's body may already be holding tension before you even leave. Physical tension, tight muscles, restlessness, small signs that the body is preparing for uncertainty. Because emotions don't only live in the brain, they often show up physically too. And in the next section, you'll learn one surprisingly simple technique that may help dogs release physical stress before departure, something many owners completely overlook. Because sometimes helping a dog feel calmer starts with the body first. And once you understand that connection, your entire routine changes. When people think about stress in dogs, they usually picture obvious behaviors: barking, whining, pacing, chewing furniture, scratching at doors. But here's what many owners miss. Those behaviors often happen after stress builds, not at the beginning. Long before a dog shows visible signs of discomfort, the body may already be carrying tension. And if tension stays in the body, staying calm becomes harder. Think about yourself. Have you ever gone through a stressful day and noticed your shoulders felt tight? Maybe your jaw felt tense. Maybe you didn't realize how much pressure you were carrying until you finally sat down. Dogs experience physical stress too. Their bodies respond to uncertainty. Their muscles respond to excitement. Their nervous system responds to changes in routine. And when those signals build up without release, the body can stay prepared for something that isn't actually dangerous. That's important because physical stress and emotional stress often work together. One can strengthen the other. A body that feels tense can support an alert state. An alert state can create more tension. Over time, that cycle becomes stronger, which means helping your dog relax physically may support emotional balance too. Now here's where many loving owners accidentally miss an opportunity. Before leaving home, they give quick affection. A fast pat on the head. A brief scratch behind the ears. Maybe a quick cuddle. Those moments come from care. But calm isn't always created by excitement. Sometimes calm grows from slowing things down. Dogs often respond differently to slow, steady, physical interaction compared to energetic affection. Think about the difference. Fast movement can increase excitement. Slow movement can encourage settling. Fast energy says something is happening. Slower energy can communicate everything is normal. One helpful idea is simply paying attention to how your dog physically feels before departure. Are they restless, standing up repeatedly, unable to settle, following every movement, breathing faster than normal? These small signs sometimes tell a bigger story. Their body may already be preparing for your absence. So instead of increasing energy, try lowering it. Move slower, speak softer, create an environment that feels predictable. Some owners also find value in calm touch routines. Nothing complicated, nothing dramatic. A few quiet moments of gentle connection. Maybe sitting nearby. Maybe slow strokes if your dog enjoys touch. Maybe allowing your dog to relax beside you without constant stimulation. The key idea isn't forcing calm, it's making calm easier. Dogs, like people, don't instantly switch from alert to relaxed. The nervous system changes gradually. Small signals build, patterns repeat, the body learns. That's why consistency matters more than intensity. Many people search for one magic solution, one trick, one perfect technique. But confidence rarely develops that way. Dogs learn through repeated experiences, repeated calm moments, repeated predictable routines, repeated evidence that everything turns out okay. Think about building trust. Trust doesn't appear because of one great day. Trust develops from hundreds of ordinary moments. Departure routines work the same way. Small choices repeated consistently create bigger emotional changes over time. Now imagine 2 different mornings. Morning 1, fast movement, busy energy, stress, rushing, big emotional goodbye, unpredictable routine. Morning 2, steady movement, predictable steps, quiet connection, calm departure, nothing dramatic. Which environment feels easier for a nervous system to relax inside? Dogs answer that question every day. Not with words, with behavior. And here's something especially important. Progress isn't always obvious immediately. Some owners try a calmer approach once. Nothing changes overnight. They stop. But learning takes repetition. Dogs build emotional patterns over time. A routine practice consistently becomes familiar. Familiar becomes safe. Safe becomes confidence. And confidence changes how dogs experience alone time. But physical comfort isn't the only factor. There's another powerful influence many owners underestimate completely. Something dogs rely on constantly. Something humans barely think about. Their strongest sense. Stronger than sight. Stronger than hearing. A system dogs use to understand safety itself. Scent. And in the next section, you'll learn why smell may play a bigger role in your dog's comfort than most people ever realize. Because sometimes helping a dog feel secure isn't about doing more. Sometimes it's about leaving behind the right signal. People experience the world heavily through sight. Dogs don't. For dogs, smell is information. It tells them what changed, who was here, what feels familiar, what belongs. And when it comes to feeling safe at home, scent may matter far more than many owners realize. Think about how dogs explore a new place. They don't immediately look around the way humans do. They investigate with their nose. The doorway, furniture, clothing, shoes, corners of a room. What seems ordinary to us contains an enormous amount of information to them. Their nose helps build their understanding of the world. It helps them recognize patterns. It helps them identify safety. And it helps them stay connected to important people. That's why your dog may lie on your clothes, sleep beside your shoes, choose your favorite chair, or settle near places that smell strongly like you. They're not trying to make life inconvenient. They're choosing familiarity. Familiarity can feel reassuring, and reassurance matters when you're away. Many owners focus entirely on visible routines. The goodbye, the walk to the door, the timing, the schedule. But sometimes comfort begins long before those moments. Sometimes it starts with the environment itself. Think about what happens when a house changes. Maybe you deep clean everything. Maybe laundry gets done. Maybe bedding changes. Maybe air fresheners are used. Everything smells fresh to humans. To dogs, the environment may suddenly feel different. The scent landscape they normally rely on changes. That doesn't automatically create stress. But for some sensitive dogs, familiarity matters more than owners realize. Especially dogs adjusting to new environments, dogs learning independence, or dogs that naturally struggle with being alone. This is where one simple adjustment may help. Leave behind familiarity. Not something exciting. Not a distraction designed to create huge stimulation. Something normal. Something steady. Something recognizable. Many dog owners notice their pets naturally choose items that carry familiar household scent. A blanket. A resting area they use often. A place connected with daily life. The goal isn't creating dependence. The goal is creating consistency. Consistency supports emotional stability. Dogs thrive on predictable information, predictable sounds, predictable routines, predictable environments, and scent becomes part of that predictability. Imagine walking into a place you've visited 100 times. Everything feels normal, comfortable, expected. Now imagine entering that same place after everything changes. Furniture moved, lighting changed, sounds changed, smells changed. You'd notice. Dogs notice too. Their experience simply happens through different senses. That's why creating an environment that feels familiar may support easier transitions when you're gone. But scent isn't the only environmental factor people underestimate. There's another invisible influence happening around dogs every day. Sound. And this is where many owners accidentally create challenges without realizing it. Some people assume silence is best. Others leave random television playing all day. Others use loud entertainment thinking noise automatically equals comfort. But dogs don't always experience sound the way humans expect. Unpredictability matters. Sudden changes matter. Sharp noises matter. Imagine trying to rest while random sounds constantly interrupt your focus. A loud commercial, a sudden explosion in a movie, unexpected shouting, fast volume changes. It becomes harder to settle. Dogs can experience similar challenges, especially dogs already sensitive to being alone, which brings us to something important. Comfort isn't always about adding more stimulation. Sometimes comfort comes from reducing unnecessary stimulation, helping the environment feel predictable, steady, consistent, because a nervous system that expects surprises stays alert. A nervous system that experiences stability often settles more easily. Now picture your dog's experience. You leave home. The environment feels familiar. The routine feels familiar. Nothing dramatic happened. Nothing suddenly changed. Predictability remains. For many dogs, predictability creates confidence. Confidence creates security. And security changes how alone time feels. But one final piece connects everything together. The element many people overlook completely. Not scent, not movement, not physical tension, not even routine itself. The environment your dog experiences after the door closes. And one small change there can completely transform how some dogs handle separation. We'll break that down next. Because what happens after you leave matters more than most people realize. The front door closes. Your car pulls away. Your day begins. But for your dog, a completely different experience has just started. Most owners spend all their attention on the moments before leaving. The goodbye, the routine, the timing, the preparation. Those things matter. But what happens after you're gone matters too. Because once the house becomes quiet, your dog's environment begins shaping their experience. And sometimes, small details inside that environment influence comfort more than people realize. Think about it this way. Imagine being alone somewhere unfamiliar. Every unexpected sound suddenly feels bigger. A noise outside, footsteps in the hallway, a door shutting, a vehicle passing, a loud sound you weren't expecting. When people feel uncertain, unpredictable noise can increase awareness. Dogs often experience something similar. Many owners try to help by leaving background noise on. Television, music, radio, streaming content. The intention makes sense. People think if the house feels less empty, maybe my dog will feel better. Sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't. The difference often comes down to consistency. A peaceful environment feels different from an unpredictable one. Imagine trying to relax while random loud sounds appear without warning. Volume changes, sudden excitement, sharp noises, fast transitions. It becomes harder to settle. Dogs may react similarly, especially dogs that already struggle with being alone. Their nervous system stays active. Listening, monitoring, preparing instead of resting. That matters because rest is important. A relaxed dog doesn't spend hours monitoring every sound. A comfortable dog doesn't constantly stay prepared for something unexpected. Comfort allows recovery. Comfort supports confidence. Confidence builds independence. And independence changes everything. This is why the environment after departure deserves attention. Not perfection. Not complete silence. Balance. Predictability. Consistency. Some dogs settle more easily with steady background sound. Gentle audio. Soft, consistent noise. Something that doesn't change dramatically every few minutes. The goal isn't entertainment. The goal is helping the environment feel stable. Because stable environments often support calmer nervous systems. But environment goes beyond sound too. Think about routine. Dogs thrive when life becomes understandable. Predictable schedules, predictable departures, predictable returns. Patterns create security. Imagine your dog learning this message repeatedly. People leave. Nothing bad happens. People return. Life continues normally. Over time, repetition becomes evidence. Evidence becomes belief. And belief changes emotional responses. That's how confidence develops. Not from one perfect day. Not from one perfect routine. Consistency matters more. Small choices repeated over weeks often create bigger change than dramatic efforts repeated once. Some owners expect immediate results. One calm departure, one routine adjustment, one environmental improvement. When change doesn't happen overnight, they assume it isn't working. But learning doesn't usually happen instantly. Dogs build emotional patterns gradually, just like people. Progress often starts quietly. A dog settles faster, paces less, rests more comfortably, shows fewer signs of stress. Small improvements appear first, then larger changes follow. And here's something important to remember. Every dog is different. Some dogs adjust quickly, some need more support. Some need training plans designed specifically for separation struggles. And that's okay. Progress isn't a competition. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is helping your dog feel safe. confident, secure. Because true confidence isn't about distracting dogs from stress. It's helping them learn they can handle being alone, that home remains safe, that departures aren't emergencies, that quiet moments aren't something to fear. Now think back to everything we've covered: calmer energy, predictable routines, reduced physical tension, familiar surroundings, comfort signals, steady environments. Individually, small changes. Together, a completely different experience. Your dog doesn't need perfection. They need consistency. They need clarity. They need repeated evidence that life remains safe even when you're temporarily away. And over time, something powerful happens. Being alone stops feeling uncertain. The nervous system stops preparing for problems that never arrive. Rest becomes easier. Confidence grows. Security develops. Not because your dog was forced to cope, because they learned they could. And that changes more than a departure routine. It changes how your dog experiences home itself. Now here's a question. Which change will you try first? Because sometimes the smallest adjustment creates the biggest difference. And one calm moment repeated consistently can reshape everything.